Hi everyone, I send my greetings into the void. Welcome back to Eliza, episode 5. We're playing a visual novel developed by Zachtronics in 2019 called Eliza. Where we left off, we didn't get any chocolate chip cookies, even though we were promised some chocolate chip cookies. And the last thing I remember, the plot has thickened a bit. We're using Eliza, the app, as some data collection thing, to make a human intelligence that's going to replace humans or something. So here we are in a beautiful scenery. Let's see where we are. It's such a nice day. When did it get so warm? I thought it was still winter. There's a breeze from over the water, making the leaves rustle gently. Everything smells nice. Why haven't I been taking advantage of this beautiful day? I should be out here walking along the waterfront. There is a calm and peace and contentedness. Now I see how special this is. I think it wasn't always this way, but it's hard to tell. I know I was having problems at one point, but that was so long ago. When was that? I can't remember. This moment in time seems to stretch to infinity. It has always existed. It will always exist. Unchanging, perfect. The surface of that lake is such a brilliant blue. Blue I could lose myself in. Forever blue. Are we using that VR thing?
Well, what do you think?
We did! I knew it!
It was nice. It was like I could close my eyes and feel myself in another place. But I didn't completely lose awareness of the real world. It was more like a mental state that I was experiencing.
Remarkable technology, isn't it?
Well, I mean, there was a lake there, so I'm guessing you could implement lakeside fishing for that guy that was really upset in the last episode.
I've had others who tried it tell me it's akin to a state of higher consciousness. Aware but totally serene, totally peaceful.
Soren retrieves a bottle of whiskey from a liquor cabinet and serves himself.
Here's a thought experiment for you. Say there was a certain medical procedure that could remove your suffering. No side effects, no cost, just an operation that would make you permanently happy. Would you get it? You have these philosopher types arguing you shouldn't do that because sadness and suffering are part of what it means to be human. Or that the happiness you'd experience isn't real, so it doesn't count somehow. What a load of bullshit. If there was something effective at taking my pain away and otherwise harmless, I would take it immediately.
Now, here's the thing, right? Happiness is a fleeting emotion. It only lasts minutes, right? I mean, not to be one of the philosophers he's talking about, but happiness lasts minutes. And wouldn't you get used to it?
I refuse to believe that being alive means having to suffer.
His voice is getting so ragged. How many drinks did he have before I came here?
Oh, forgive me, I forgot to ask. Would you like some scotch as well?
Yeah.
Sure.
Soren gets another glass and gives me a small pour.
The Glencadam. Beautiful, light, luminous taste. Not peaty at all. Lovely stuff. Ah, if only psychotherapy worked as well as a single glass of well-made whiskey, huh? If alcohol wasn't poison, I wouldn't have to invent anything now, would I? I do think we did some good work at Skanda, but I always knew there were going to be limits to the Eliza approach.
They took it in another direction, my dude.
I was a counseling psychologist for a long time, you know. I understand the shortcomings better than anyone. So much of it can feel like a waste of time, talking through everything, dredging up the past over and over again, trying and failing to change our habits and routines. It's all going to look completely ineffectual compared to what comes next. With direct stimulation and induced dreaming, we can take control of our own brains in a way that's never been possible before. There's no reason we couldn't just eliminate this epidemic of despair for everyone in the world.
You're eliminating the wrong epidemic here.
Imagine it. Anger, depression, emptiness, anxiety, jealousy, every kind of unhappiness you can think of. Obsolete.
So, as far as I know, in psychology, saying that emotions are positive and negative is kind of the wrong way to look at things, right? As I said, not to go too philosophical into the whole thing, but negative emotions have a purpose. And if they're made obsolete, then what?
And to think Raynor wanted nothing to do with this.
I'm gonna say that Raynor thought it was a bad idea because Raynor was more focused on another thing.
He thought it was a bad idea.
Raynor's one of the ones who thinks negative emotions are important.
Oh.
He told me he thinks pain should be regulated, not eliminated. After all, why would anyone write a poem or make art if they only felt happiness?
True.
He also said he was afraid of the way it would look in the media. A company as large as Skanda coming out with a product that changes the brain to make you happy. All the sorry excuses we have for public intellectuals today would throw a fit about how dystopian it looked to them. It's better if a small startup takes the fall, if public opinion turns against this technology. That's the kind of calculus he was doing.
So that's why you have a startup.
Those are the objections he claimed to have, at least. There's another one I suspect he had too, though. If people are self-sufficient, they don't need an ongoing support system. A system provided by an all-knowing paternalistic presence like Skanda.
Wait, you think Raynor wants people to stay miserable so they stay dependent on mental health services from his company?
Oh, just what I said in episode 1, if anyone remembers.
Yes. Yes, I do. It's quite the accusation, I know. Not something I'd come out and say in public, not yet, anyway. But you see, the people who come to Eliza regularly, it's part of their lives now. The more they integrate with Skanda's mental wellness tools, the more they'd be adrift without them. That's the real dystopia, don't you think? Rendered helpless without the guidance of computer algorithms. Total dependency on the system.
But he wants to do the same thing with his VR thing.
Excuse me for 1 second.
Soren hurries out of the room for some reason, leaving me with questions echoing in my head. Would I want my suffering removed completely? Is it better to leave it alone? Erland! Hey, guy! Do you think I could ask about Damien? Oh, Damien, the guy who died 3 years ago. Erland, I had a shot of whiskey. I'm ready. Why do you want to know? What kind of person was he? You're asking me to describe him. If you're okay with that. I don't want to make you if it's uncomfortable, but it will help me know what he was like. He was a brilliant software architect and engineer, one of the most sincere people I ever met. He believed people were fundamentally good and wanted to help them. Our digital therapy project wasn't a mandate from management. We started it ourselves. I see. Damien went through some difficult times himself. He wasn't able to get the care he needed. That's why he wanted to change things. I wish he'd gotten the chance. I see. Thank you. This is going to sound weird, but sometimes when I'm working late and I doze in the office, I have dreams about him. I never met him in real life, but it's like I sense his presence there, like he encoded himself into the system in some way. Ha ha, I know it's just my mind playing tricks on me. I don't believe in ghosts. So Damien, I think, is now haunting Erland in the server farm. Okay, let's see where Soren lives. Soren likes this style of decor. I forgot what it was called. It's modern from around the middle of the century. There's a term for that, isn't there? I don't know the term, I'm not that educated. Seems restrained for him. Maybe he's cut back. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottles of liquor? Reminds me of the art in the counseling room. Knowing Soren, this is probably by some famous artist and it cost him a fortune. Okay, before I continue, right, I want to do one thing. First, I'm going to take a sip of water, refresh, and then I'm going to try to do solitaire on expert mode because Eliza only has one Steam achievement, and that is completing solitaire on expert mode. So while we're waiting for Soren to be done in the bathroom, we might as well pull up our phone and play some solitaire, right? So let's play some solitaire. I'm going to speed it up, so don't worry. This is the expert mode. Oh god, I forgot how to play it again. Oh no. Okay, let's see. I failed miserably and had to try again. We did it! Ah, we got the achievement! We beat solitaire in expert mode. That's the only achievement. Now I have 100% achievement in Eliza. Okay, thank you for your patience. We can continue. Soren comes back in the room and immediately pours himself another glass of whiskey. He doesn't seem to notice he's filled it almost all the way to the top.
Evelyn, I really think you, of all people, might understand what I'm trying to do here.
I'm not sure that I do.
I'm not sure that I do. You don't think it's dangerous. You're essentially making technology that changes what people think is real.
Evelyn, you're much more concerned than you used to be about this kind of thing. I remember when you would dive headfirst into anything that held a promise, even a fleeting one, to help humanity.
The question here is, would this really help humanity?
What changed your mind to make you so wary, so skeptical now?
Can I ask you something, Soren? What did you tell Damien?
Oh, this again. Don't tell me we had all of this wonderful conversation tonight and now you're trying to blame me for Damien. Who put you up to this? Was it Nora? Raynor?
I just want to know the truth, Soren.
Nobody thought we could do it. You remember that. There was skepticism from day one. I had to defend us constantly from other project managers who didn't like that we existed, who wanted our budget and resources for themselves.
Oh, like that guy from last time who is in the trenches and has been for 25 years.
Some of those were vicious, vicious fights.
Yeah, bullets whizzing in the trenches.
Amid all that, I had to be a leader, too. Part of that meant giving everyone on the team accurate information. So I was honest in saying there were forces that sought to kill our project. And I was honest when I said we'd never survive if we didn't have something to show for our work. That was the reality. Without a product, we would be nothing. A guy like Raynor has access to anything he wants. If your pitch and demo isn't in the top 1% of what's out there, why would he be interested? That's what we were up against.
So many mornings, I would get into work and see Damien there. At first, I thought he was getting up earlier than me, but then I noticed he was still wearing the same shirt from the day before. Then, one morning, I got in and...
Evelyn, please. I wanted everyone on the team to be healthy. I think that's so obvious it doesn't need to be said, but I'll say it now if you think I was deliberately trying to harm him. Did I instruct you to work until you injured yourselves? No, absolutely not. It was a tragedy, and I'm very sorry that it happened. I wish it hadn't. But I wasn't telling Damien to pull all-nighters. He was an adult. He made his own decisions about how he was going to work.
Okay, so it's 4 in the morning at the time of me recording this and I'm feeling a bit called out.
And besides, what about your role in all this? If you noticed him not taking care of himself, you could have mentioned it.
I wasn't the team leader.
None of that behavior was unusual for Skanda anyway. It was part of our reputation, part of the culture. There isn't a single cause you can isolate in a case like this.
Sitting in one place for too long. Chronic stress. Both of those are risk factors.
Evelyn, I'm truly, truly sorry about what happened to Damien. He had a bright future, and it was a shock to all of us. But the answers here aren't simple ones. Dwelling on it isn't going to bring him back. Nor is discussing the huge number of potential causes of pulmonary embolism.
Oh, so it turns out he got a pulmonary embolism from sitting too long, which is recently becoming a fear of my own.
It happened, and now we have to move on.
It felt like everything stopped. All of the work we were doing might as well have crumbled into dust. We were trying to build something to help the world, and we got lost along the way. What was the point? There didn't seem to be a point any longer.
I know that you cared about him. The process of grief can go on for some time, but you're taking the right steps. You're regaining your sense of purpose, aren't you? The experience of suffering is what makes us want to end suffering. It's late and I've had quite a bit to drink, so I'll tell you a secret, Evelyn. I said I want to end human suffering, which makes me sound very altruistic.
He wants to end his own suffering.
But I'm not doing it for humankind. I'm doing it for myself. I have nothing. I've ruined every relationship I was ever in. I hardly ever see my kids, and, well, they hate me anyway. I want to end my own suffering, but I can't bring myself to do it the traditional way. That's why I've pursued this technology. That's why I want it to exist. The idea that everyone else could use it too, it's just a bonus.
Soren, are you okay?
Soren, are you okay?
No, not at all. I'm aware of that. I'm not a good person, Evelyn. Neither is Rainer, of course, but at least I'm honest with myself about that.
Oh, a Rainer slime sleazeball.
So, now that that's all out in the open, you probably want to head home before it gets too late. Don't let me keep you.
Yes, I'll get going. I hope you can feel better.
No, I'll be fine. Just, please, consider it, Evelyn. You and I are both more familiar with pain than we might wish to be. What if you could take that away? Each of us has a destiny to fulfill. I truly believe that. I'm sure yours will come into focus soon.
Maybe in chapter 5. Somehow that conversation ended up being very draining. Is the promise of that new technology really all that keeps him going? Back on the train. Obviously we have a favorite spot. Okay, let's click around. 3 got unpopular. He's watching something and smiling to himself. The phone tips in his hands, allowing me to glimpse of the screen. It's a cat video. Of course it is. Also, you can follow me on TikTok. It's the same name as on YouTube. And then you can see my cat videos if you want. I think I've seen this person before. We must have a similar commute. Maybe he works at Skanda too. Some days it feels like the whole city does. Is there anything else to click? Oh! Security. Security! Security! I got 3 texts. Okay. One is a motivational message. It says, "There's no need to rush." I agree. Live slow, die whenever. Mail. Contractor experience team, how are we doing? Hello. At Skanda, we continuously strive to provide meaningful and empowering work environments for all of our individual contributors, including contractors like you. All our individual contributors, including contractors like you. To that end, We periodically survey this group in order to better understand how we can further enhance the Skanda experience. We're interested in your feedback regarding your experience as a contractor for Skanda in the contract proxy position. If you wish to participate in the survey, simply reply to this message. Thanks. Where can I reply? Where can I give me the survey? I have some complaints. For example, my coworkers keep stealing my cookies and your coffee is trash. Where do I reply? And anyway, I guess we can't reply. Mark Force, all good things. Oh, wow, Mark Forrest. Okay, so this is the lakeside fishing guy. Okay, I hope he curses us out. I hope he curses us out. Well, everyone, today is my last day at Skanda. What can I say? It's the end of an era. He sent it to everyone, the entire company. When I joined this place, it was just hope, a dream, a vision. To stop, look back, and see just how much we've accomplished in the last 2 decades is mind-boggling to say the least. I'll miss the old crew and everyone who was in the trenches with me. You know who you are. Remember the insane blackberry brambles around campus that people would get serious cuts from? The time the network broke and Raj had to host all of our internal dogs from his garage? The time we tried to roll out the big Polaris update right as the worst windstorm in a decade hit? Old Skanda hands also know how to mass email everyone at the company, even though IT believes they turned off that feature. Sorry, Stuart. Oh, that he emailed to everyone. I wish I could say it was all smooth sailing, but as with any job, there were times of friction, times when it seemed to me what the very clear, obviously correct path was not as apparent to others. I value a spirit of openness and candor in my interactions, and thought everyone else here did too. But as we grew, I suppose it was inevitable that we would take on a larger and larger group of people with an entirely different communication style that I'm used to. In regard to certain specific instances, I would like to apologize to anyone I may have offended in the way that I presented my views. For those of you asking where I'm headed to next, the answer is nowhere yet. I'm going to spend some time with my family before I think about my next act. It's a different world out there now, with new challenges and new horizons. Maybe this old dog will learn some new tricks in time. Thanks for being the best engineering team in the world. I'm proud to have served alongside you. Excelsior. Mark. I'm guessing lakeside fishing didn't help much, Mark, considering you quit and let everyone know. Let's continue. Mark, you sneaky, cheeky bastard. You emailed everyone to let them know you quit. Honestly, it was too polite for him. I was really expecting something more juicy. Let's continue. Time to get to work. Oh, Harmon, did you approach your lady?
Hello, Harriman.
Yes, we can just get down to it.
Sure, we can do that. What brings you here today? It's okay to tell me what's on your mind.
Well, I slept with Sylvia.
Good job! Good job!
To think I was so nervous about approaching her that I went and got therapy here. A week later, we happened to be in the library, and I just started talking with her. We talked and talked, and then everything just happened. Like a train following tracks laid out for it years ago. Crazy thing. Craziest thing. Now I'm confounded. Absolutely confounded. How did that happen? And also, why did it happen?
Because of your irresistible sexual magnetism, you didn't believe in yourself, but look, it happened.
I'm thinking, was something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Did she do something wrong? Did she think I was another person? I have no idea if we have a relationship now or what.
You should ask her, maybe.
It happened so fast. I mean, it was wonderful. It felt so right, but now what? I'm actually more frightened now than I was before.
Maybe do it again? I don't know.
I should probably say something, right? Text her or something? What do I do? What if she ignores me? What if she decides to pretend I don't exist?
It seems to me you're afraid of something.
Yes. I'm quite worried. Vexed. Terrified, really. What do I do?
So he wants to approach Sylvia to sleep with her, and in order for him to do that, he goes to therapy, and then he's successful, and now he's terrified of his success. What do I do?
I need to say something. Follow up somehow, right?
Yes.
In the Heian period of classical Japanese history, you were supposed to send a poem, a morning after poem. Is that too stuffy? I don't appear like some ridiculous court noble.
Could you imagine you have a one-night stand with a rando from the library and he sends you a morning after poem?
Something casual is better, right? Hey, how are you? Did you have fun? I sure did. Oh, I don't know.
Hey, I mean, if you write it in lines, it can be like, hey, how are you? Did you have fun? I sure did. That could be like haiku, you know? So it could still be a poem.
I don't know what a stat it is right now. There's another problem too. Another really big problem. How do I tell Liz?
He has a girlfriend?
Wait, of course, I'm not going to tell her. That would hurt her. Did I mention this last time? I have a sort of girlfriend.
Oh God, Harmon.
Liz is nice. The kind of person everyone approves of. Well, I should probably marry her. Yeah. I suppose I might have taken a bit of a sledgehammer to the pillars of my life at the present moment. Why did I do that? I keep coming back to my own inability to explain myself.
Why do you think you're unable to explain yourself?
Well, because I thought Sylvia was so wonderful, and it turned out that she liked me too, and...
That makes her less wonderful.
I mean, I'd love to pursue a relationship with Sylvia without harming Liz. I'm not sure that's possible, though, right? I can't believe this. I got what I wanted, and it ruined my life. What do I tell Liz? She doesn't deserve someone like me who does things like this.
You're right.
I ruined it. Ruined everything.
Can you describe what you mean when you say you ruined everything?
Well, what is there left now? I've overturned my entire existence in one night. The real problem here is Sylvia, the whole situation with her. I can't stop thinking about her now. It's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's constant. It's relentless. Even now, I can still feel her, smell her. You're a computer. You don't know what that's like, do you? I need a way to forget this. I need a way to put all that out of my mind. My brain is completely out of order. I'm being punished. And the punishment reaches cosmic levels of irony for me. Do you know why?
Why?
I used to hate, absolutely hate, self-pitying novels by men who were messed up over a relationship and couldn't get over it. Oh, she was wild and beautiful. Oh, a force of nature. Nobody could understand her, etc., etc.
There's a cool subreddit for that. It's called Men Writing Women, and it's full of examples just like this one.
I thought I was so much better than those types of writers. And now? Oh, yes, I get it. Oh, I understand it now. So much pain.
Why did you think you were so much better than those types of writers?
Eliza is shady.
Because it was such a cliche. Now I'm wondering, am I going to be next? Is that my fate? Am I going to become the next straight, male English professor whose one published novel is about not being able to get over a girl? Ugh, you have to be kidding me. I can't allow myself that fate. I had something better to pursue, didn't I? I have to write about something else. My life has to be the story of something else, but I don't know where to go from here. I need to try to get over this. I need to get over her. I must. Yes, I must. There's no way I'm going to let this ruin everything. If I tell Liz everything and apologize sincerely and strike the memory of Sylvia from my mind, I still might save this. It will take great care and cunning, but I may be able to wend my way through this treacherous path I now find myself upon.
Treacherous path.
Even though I fear at any moment I might slip and tumble into the crevice below. Dead. Dead. Never seen or heard from again.
Oh, God.
Oh, sweet, dark death.
Death? Death? Okay, well, sweet dark death. Meadowlands. Maybe we can bury you there.
Holman, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Meadowlands. It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Meadowlands. I'm off to the Meadowlands. Familiar ground, grass and warmth. Reverting to my childhood. The state of nature. Yeah, this is a good recommendation. Yes, you are a genius, in fact. You, a computer program, wiser than you know.
Thank you.
I'm sure this is exactly what I need. To revert to a state of wonder at this moment when the mundane world and all its entanglements seem too much to bear.
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
I'll be back sooner than that if this works.
We hope to see you back soon, Harriman. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
See you. Yes, yep, see you.
I hope Liz leaves him. Three stars. 3 stars? He called me a genius and then gave me 3 stars. But I do remember Erland said that they are, normalizing these scores, so I guess. I know I'm supposed to keep it confidential, and I will, but sometimes I really wish I could talk to people about the clients that come through here. Soren. Evelyn, hey. Just closed the next round of funding. Asia Pacific Investment Group. They're keenly interested in this technology. Imagine the potential size of the Asian market for something like this. Staggering. Congrats, Soren. I guess. Thanks. Of all the projects I worked on, I have a strong feeling about this one. That is going to go far, really make a dent in the universe. Wouldn't you rather do that than crunch numbers for Rainer? I don't know what I want to do. Listen. All he wants to do is quantify everything. He'll never understand there are some things you can't reduce to a number. How are you feeling right now? 1, 5, 2.3? What? The Richter scale? Never heard of it? 5 out of what? See, it's ridiculous. No, it's not ridiculous. You need to give me a scale. The idea that feelings can be reduced to these simple data points. I'm glad I don't work for him anymore. Direct stimulation provides much more rich, complex information. So many ways to study it too. Imagine what you could do with a corpus of... Stop! Oh my god. Hey, are you there? Chill. So many ways to study it too. Imagine what you could do with a corpus of raw sensation. Notions, images, ideas, sensations. Hey, you there? Yes. I'm at work. Stop texting me while I work. Okay. Heading into another meeting, chat with you later. Oh, you can't chat in meetings, but me at my job, I need to chat with you. Oh my god. How many times can we look at this chair? His experience as a grad student is nothing like the one I had. We're just gonna ignore Soren. How does he even have time for that stuff? I hope this one is getting enough light in its corner there. Looks a little lonely. Hey, listen, I know Ray's taking care of it quite well. Let's continue. Time for the next client. I'm ready. Oh, maybe I should use my customer service voice and mute Evelyn. Maya! Oh, I can't do that for Maya. Hello, Maya.
Hello, Maya. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could afford a real therapist, but this is just gonna have to do. Sorry, I don't know if you're sensitive to that or...
Why don't we get started?
Sure.
Eliza? What's the weather like, though? I still don't know.
So, I feel worse than before. Definitely worse. I played the game you told me to with the meadows and stuff, and, it was nice. But when I got back to the real world, everything was the same. I don't know why you people think I can stand in a nice place for 15 minutes and that'll make things magically better. Am I wrong? Am I misunderstanding something here? It isn't making me more successful. It isn't giving me opportunities. I mean, I feel like I'm already in my mid-30s and I'm like running out of time to get established as an artist. And meanwhile, the people I know are being written up and celebrated and winning awards, and all I have is being jealous of them.
Where do you think these feelings come from?
It's the popularity. It's all a popularity contest, you know? It's like high school all over again. I hate it. I guess I'm just not that funny or pretty or catty enough to attract followers. I mean, I work and I work and I work to make things, and I never get traction. And I have things to say. I really do. But when I open my mouth, it's like time stops. And time starts again when I've finished, so nobody reacts or anything. It's like a curse from mythology. And meanwhile, these other people my age, people younger than me, they're well on their way to these wonderful, fulfilling artistic careers. And I don't know, seeing that happen over and over again, it's making it hard to continue to be friendly with them. I really try to hold it back, but knowing all these people are way more successful than me, it's difficult. It's like a millstone around my neck, strangling me, drowning me. I can't stop myself, even though I know it's ruining things. I wish I could escape. I wish I could not care. But then something comes up again, and I'm trapped inside it all over again.
I feel bad for her. I like Maya. She's been here with us since day one.
What's an example of something that comes up that causes this?
Well, there's one woman in particular everyone loves. And her work is... I don't get it. I don't understand. She gets so much money and support for this basic shit. And somehow everyone's predisposed to like her. I mean, maybe I do get it. I feel like people pay attention to her work, not because it's good on its own, but because supporting her feels like the right thing to do. The way she's aligned herself, it's like, if you support her, it means you're cool, you're in with the cool kids. And if I'm not publicly supportive of her and generally tolerant of her mediocre work, then I'm the bad one. I'm the competitive bitch. I'm the bitter failure. Which I guess maybe I am. It's not fair. I hate that there's this part of me. It's such an ugly part. But it's there. It's there.
Do you think you would be better off without that part of you?
You know, I don't know. In the past, I probably would have said, no, it's important for me to have my sense of judgment, for me to know what good art is and what isn't. Now I'm wondering if maybe that hasn't been more of a hindrance than a help to me. Maybe I should just forget all that. Forget about trying to do this thing. I'm sick of trying and wanting. I'm sick of parties. I'm sick of art. I'm sick of the idea of art. I'm sick of my own art, which nobody likes. Not even myself. Something has to change. Something drastic has to happen to change things around. Oh, that reminds me, I got your message about revealing my data the other day, and I think, well, hell, maybe I'm fine with it. Just take it all.
What? Message about revealing your data? Excuse me? It sounds like you're interested in participating in transparency mode.
Okay, Maya.
What is transparency
sounds like
mode?
you're interested in participating in transparency mode. Let me know if you have any questions about how this mode works.
I don't know. I'm gonna let you look at my life, right? Everything?
What?
Thank you for asking about transparency mode. Transparency mode is an experimental new feature for Eliza. It allows me to analyze your communications in order to help you better. To participate, you must grant me access to certain personal data.
What?
This includes your personal communications, such as email and chat histories.
Oh, well, at least they're asking. That's nice.
Sharing this data improves my ability to help you.
It improves Rainer's ability to build a robot.
Some guy at the bar was yammering at me about how it's a terrible idea because they're gonna surveil me or something. But what the hell? I can't use my life history for anything. It's a ruin already. Please, do what you want with it. God, I feel like I'm donating my body to science.
Please confirm that you would like to enable transparency mode.
Yes, do it. Invade my privacy. Invade it like the Visigoths invaded Rome. I don't know why I said that. That was a really weird thing to say.
I love this.
I did not understand your response.
I would like to participate in transparency mode.
Okay, Maya. I have registered you for transparency mode.
Honestly, like, we should tell Earl and do code in the Visigoths invading Rome thing, because obviously that's going to be a common response.
Cool. Wouldn't life be easy if all I had to do was follow your directions? Like the lady sitting in the chair across from me. I envy you. I honestly do.
The terms of service and privacy policy are available in the Skanda service portal. Please read and review these documents carefully.
Yeah. No, for sure. I study. Closely study. Every software user agreement I get.
Maybe you should for this one.
That's a joke. I really just click agree as fast as I can.
Thank you, Maya. We hope to see you back
We
soon.
didn't fix her problem.
Yeah, I know.
We didn't give her any meadows. We didn't give her any meadows. We didn't give her any drugs. We just asked her to give us her chat data. What?
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Bye.
We didn't do anything. Did I blank out? Wait, we got an achievement? A persuader?
Well, look who's got access to transparency mode all of a sudden.
The client asked for it by name. I guess she heard about it somewhere and wanted it? I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, we don't really talk about it right now. It's a little sensitive. It's possible Skanda contacted her directly. They recruit for the program from a pool of regular customers. Usually, transparency mode is only handled by the highest level proxies, since there's a lot of trust required there. But you were given access to it right after the request. It's a little odd. I wonder if someone at HQ hasn't taken a particular interest in your proxy career.
So Rainer knows that I know what the transparency mode is really for, so he was like, fuck it, give it to her.
Or maybe Eliza just likes me.
It would, wouldn't it?
I never thought people would willingly open themselves up like this. Aren't there a lot of very private things in people's messages?
Yes and no. The truth is usually pretty mundane. People text each other, "Where are you? I'm by the elevator," way more than they share their deep dark secrets. The critics who are always going on about privacy, well, the important thing is that everyone participating in transparency mode specifically agreed to it. It's completely voluntary.
For now.
We're upfront about what data we collect and how we use it so people can go in aware of the choices they're making.
Are you sure you're upfront about how you use the data? That's good. I'd hate to see it misused.
That's good. I'd hate to see it misused.
Yeah, the media would jump all over us.
Mhm.
There are a lot of people who want to see us fail for whatever reason. Just something that happens when you try to change things. Some people get so used to their misery, they can't imagine it any other way. Anyway, you should get an email about it, but transparency mode is really straightforward. It's even simpler than being a proxy, which is saying something. You just read a few messages and answer some questions. That's it.
Oh, I get to do transparency mode? Wait, what? I thought it was just a way for you to gather data on the customer so that next time they come in, they can get a better response.
You can start it whenever you're ready.
What?
Sure.
What? Okay. So she really gave us permission to look at her messages. I feel like just a few years ago, even the idea of something like this would have been controversial. But she was fine with it. She wanted it. Compare this to the water that was in the conference room at Skanda headquarters. Funny how there's an appropriate level of fanciness for everything. I'm sure Nora would have something to say about that. It's so gray out there. Introduction to Transparency Mode. Dear Evelyn Ishino Aubrey, congratulations. You've been selected to contribute additional information to Eliza's learning corpus with access to a special feature called Transparency Mode. How Transparency Mode works. Number 1. You'll be presented with a snapshot of a client's personal communications. Review these communications and determine the client's mental state. Eliza will also create a model of the client's mental state. Eliza will ask a few questions designed to check its model against your understanding of the client. FAQ. How do I know if I'm doing a good job in transparency mode? Carefully consider the material provided to you and sincerely answer the questions created by Eliza's model. Your input is valuable whether it agrees or disagrees with Eliza. What privacy rules and regulations apply to the information I see in transparency mode? Skanda takes personal privacy very seriously. As a proxy, you have already agreed to strong non-disclosure and other agreements to protect our customers' privacy. These agreements and protections also apply to information presented in transparency mode. Does Skanda have the right to show me another citizen's private communications? Yes. Participating clients have signed waivers giving us permission to retrieve the information to better assist them as part of our ongoing research. Regards, Edwin. Well, my proxy level is only 3.7. What is that? Convince the client to participate in transparency mode. Okay. Oh, here it is. Eliza transparency mode. Okay. Maya, please agree or disagree with Eliza's conclusions. I need to read 8 of her emails, and I need to read 2 of her text messages. Okay, email. Okay, let's December. Thanks for writing with Amadou. Okay, she wrote with Amadou. Note, a 150 cleaning fee was added to this trip. Riders are responsible for incidents such as spillage of food and drink or unexpected involuntary regurgitation. The cleaning fee helps your driver maintain a clean, safe vehicle for other riders to enjoy. Thank you for using Palki. Oh no. What did you do? Spring showcase is right around the corner. Oh, wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? It's cold and wintry now, but that can only mean one thing. Spring is surely on its way, and that means it's time to get ready for Spencer Spruce Gallery's annual Spring Showcase. Held in April, our Spring Showcase is famous for highlighting some of the best and most exciting up-and-coming artistic talent in the Puget Sound region. Stay tuned for more information, including the artist lineup, venue, and more soon, very soon. We're so incredibly excited to bring these incredible artists to your attention. For now, visit our website to take a look at the showcase in years past, as well as read interviews on what artists, curators, and fans have to say about this vital event. Rowan and team at the Spencer Spruce Gallery. Who's hot? You're hot. Okay, dating service. They love you. They really love you. In the past 24 hours, you received 11 new messages on PairUp. Here's a sample. I saw you're an artist on your profile. Congratulations. I love RC Chicks. Tell me more. Hi there, unicorn girl. I'm an artist too. What kind of art do you do? I'm primarily mixed media at the moment, using clay and plastic to make messed up looking creatures from your nightmares or hell. Ha ha. What about you? What are you into? And also, yo. There's more where that came from. Sign into your account to see the rest of the messages. Okay. Thank you for your submission to the Spencer Spruce Gallery Spring Showcase. Unfortunately, we feel your work is not right for the showcase, but we appreciate you taking the time to share it with us. Shed. Francis. Hi, Maya. I wanted to say thank you for taking the time to pitch to us. Your treatment was engaging and thoughtful. This was a difficult decision for us, but ultimately we will not be moving forward with your project. Please stay in touch and keep us posted on what you're up to. It's always possible that we might work together in the future. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season and that the new year brings you success. All the best, Francis. Maya, thank you for giving us the opportunity to read Saturation. It's not right for us, but we hope you will be able to find a home for it elsewhere. Oh no. And there she was. She started with us. A special offer for Eliza clients. This is the transparency mode thing. We would like to give you the opportunity to participate in a pilot of a new feature. It has the potential to significantly enhance the level of counseling you receive from Eliza. Feature involves voluntarily granting us access to some of your accounts, such as email and chat histories. Information from these accounts is then analyzed by Eliza to provide additional insight into your personality, character, and life situation. The data is processed independently of any personal identifying information and will never be shared with other divisions of Skanda or any third party, except in the rare event that we are required to comply with a valid subpoena or other court order. For further information, including a helpful FAQ, full terms of service, and privacy policy, please visit the Skanda support portal. Will never be shared with other divisions of Skanda. This is interesting. Beacon Hill Press, 25% off sale today only. Oh. Best national and international sequential art and storytelling firm established, as well as emerging artists. Over our 10-year history, we've published some of the most lauded voices in comics today, including multiple Eisner and Ignatz winners. This dedication to quality doesn't come without a cost. We're dependent upon our customers or patrons to make ends meet so that we can continue to help these crucial voices be heard. That's why, for today only, we're offering a limited 25% discount across all our titles. Visit our store page to take advantage of this offer while it lasts. With your help, we can continue to bring you today's best and most interesting new comic art. And we also have to read her chat. Jen and Garrett. Okay, who's Garrett? Nobody gives a fuck. Please stop. I hate when you're like this. I'm just saying through things. Don't tell me to pretend everything's great. Nobody gives a shit. It's just a fact. I don't know how to help you when you're like this. I know nobody can. Have you thought about getting therapy? I'm in therapy. Okay, sorry. I'm in therapy. I'm on medication. I did some VR thing where I stood in a forest by a creek. How does any of that make people care about my work? It doesn't change a fucking thing. Look, I'm sorry you're going through a tough time. I fucking hate this. I'm sorry you aren't helping. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how I'm supposed to help you, Maya. And then she stopped responding. And then the day after, she texted Jen. Did you see the new Forsberg thing? I think he kind of sucks. He does. It's boring, self-absorbed, didn't do much for me. Why is he a thing? Why does everyone love him? Right place, right time. His friends run that press. He's on a podcast. One of the things he's good at is having this image of being a genius. I think people just assume he is one. He's so mediocre. I don't understand it. I sink now into the space of forever. Like, what kind of crap is that? Seriously, it's so bad. Ha ha. I know he socializes and gets out a lot, I think. He's like at every party, at least that I've seen. He's always there chatting people up. Fuck that. Why is the world this way? It's the world. I hate it. I remember being so glad to be over with high school. I didn't realize all of adult life is just high school over and over again. Just a stupid popularity contest against idiots. Ugh. I'm sorry you aren't feeling well. Drink soon. I'll be fine. Yeah, Def drinks always. Can I click on other things? So I can click on it. Okay, it won't let me click on it. Honestly, like, I was thinking, should I click on it? What if it shows me something else? Like, honestly, when you click on the sketch, right, it says, this is uncomfortable already. And I kind of agree, you know? Okay, agree or disagree with Eliza's conclusions. Overall, Maya is unhappy. I agree. Maya is attempting to become well known. Yes. Maya's efforts to become well known are unsuccessful. Yes. Oh. I don't know if I like learning this much about someone I don't know. It makes me feel tired for some reason. Erland! Erland is asking us out. Could I meet up with you again? Like for coffee, maybe? Something happened that I want to talk to you about. Sure. Okay, thanks. I'll meet you wherever. Komorebi is my favorite spot. What happened? He'll tell us at Komorebi, Evelyn. Stop. Something at work. It's not a big deal. I wanted your opinion on it. And I don't want to text about it. Okay.
Thanks for meeting up
Komorebi.
with me on kind of short notice.
Open daily. Sure, Erlen, no problem.
I didn't mean to worry you. It's just something I wanted to talk about.
It's fine. What happened?
Well, what happened was... Where should I start? First of all, Raynor wants Eliza to be more than something that's used just for therapy.
Mm-hmm.
He sees it as more of a general system for talking to people, like a personal assistant. The counseling is just one of a whole range of apps he has in mind for the future.
Mm-hmm. So I've heard.
Okay, so in service of developing these things, Raynor wants us to make copies of Eliza's core data and hand it off to multiple teams around the world. Some of them not even Skanda teams. Contractors, vendors, random partners.
Sounds like a big file to move around.
It is, but that's not the problem.
What's the problem?
Well, so we're fine with sharing Eliza with whoever wants it? Anyone just gets access to the corpus?
Sounds like a pretty typical process. That's how big companies work, isn't it?
I know, but it just feels wrong to let all these teams poke and prod at it like it's a specimen for them to dissect. Who knows what they'll do with it? Eliza is built from people's real thoughts and feelings. I wouldn't say it has humanity, but it was built from humanity. There's something there. So when Raynor talks about it like we'll just duplicate this dataset and have the labs do whatever it is they're going to do, how do we know they'll treat it with the respect it deserves and not just pry it open? Slice it up into little pieces.
I think you're a little bit too emotionally invested in this amalgamation of zeros and ones.
It bothers me. I know, it's silly. I know it's just data. I shouldn't care about this stuff.
Erland.
Okay, this is going to sound condescending, so I'm just going to say this.
This is the first time I've heard a concern like this raised. I know where you're coming from, though. Sometimes you grow attached to the things you work on. Like, really attached.
Yeah, I've put a lot of thought and work into Eliza since I inherited it. It's natural that maybe I'm a little protective, right? I thought maybe you'd feel the same way.
I can be like, no, I left all that behind. I don't work for Eliza, even though I work as an Eliza proxy. I can agree with him, but I kind of don't. But also, telling him it's just a data set, I think he might not like that. You know what, I'll agree with him.
I do, I agree with you.
And I agree with him on the basis of the fact that I disagree with Raynor's idea of trying to use Eliza data.
The moment we say things are just data is the moment we enable all kinds of violence.
I just wish I knew what to do.
What choice do you have?
I'm not sure. This is the first time something like this has happened to me. I did take an ethics of engineering course in school, but...
Ethics of engineering? Is that a real thing?
The examples were all pretty clear-cut problems. Would you build software for a bomb? That kind of stuff. I didn't expect my personal feelings to be mixed up in it, too. Listen to me talk. Eliza being special, something worth protecting. I'd be a laughingstock if I started saying those things at the office. My coworkers would say, "Come on, Erlen, stop attributing human qualities to this piece of data. It's not the same thing as real people."
People get attached to the Roombas the same way.
It's just a corpus that has nothing to do with the people that generated it. And besides, don't you want Eliza to help more people? This is how we get there. And who am I to argue with that? These are reasonable points. But I don't know. I think maybe something does live on. Even when you take the names out, even when you anonymize everything. People's stories are still inside there, in some form, in some way. I just want to make sure we have some respect for them.
Welcome to your first moral decision in tech, Erland. It certainly won't be your last.
It's not much of a decision. Like you said, I don't really have a choice. I just have to go along with it. I was so amazingly lucky to get this opportunity, running the whole Eliza program almost as soon as I graduated college. Raynor took a big chance on me. I can't just walk away from that. Besides, if I left because of something like this, I'd be giving up all the ways I can make a difference by staying. Raynor isn't a bad person either. He's just pushing for his own goals. I need to see this through. I'll do what he's asking me to do. Sorry. Thanks for listening to me talk in this confused way. I'm usually more together than this. I've probably kept you from something important.
Oh yeah, solitaire.
No, it's okay. I'd already finished up work for the day when you texted.
You spoke with 2 clients and did 1 transparency mode.
People seem to assume I'm busy, but I'm really not. Not these days. Later tonight I'm going to visit a friend, but that's all I have going on.
Okay. Well, sorry.
You can stop apologizing, too.
Right. Right. Thanks, Evelyn. Well, I for one should get back to the office. Another meeting.
Is it with the team in Romania?
No, the Boston office this time. It's late for them, so I should try to get it done quickly.
Erland hurries off to his next meeting. Should I get some more coffee? Yes. Ray, how'd your first transparency mode go? I was going to ask after you finished, but I didn't see you in the office. I had to duck right out. Sorry. No problem. There weren't a lot of questions. I thought there'd be more. True. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's always very terse, and the questions are really short. I thought maybe you could tell me why. Haha. This feature came after my time, so I'm not sure. If I were to take a guess, Eliza only needs human confirmation to make sure it hasn't messed up. It's like it already knows it has the right answers, that's true. Which would make it rather advanced as a system. I don't know of any other program capable of something like that. Maybe Raynor is right. About what? Breaking my NDA here? Yeah, so I mean, this is just like when Google asks you, hey, are you a robot? Please mark every car, and you mark every car. Google already knows which image is the car. It just wants to know it better, right? So it's the same thing, right? Eliza makes a guess, and I confirm it to her. Yeah, Raynor, no breaking of NDAs here. Raynor is upbeat. No creating human intelligence in here. No. He's upbeat about Eliza's capacity to understand humans and act like them. I'm not sure I believe that, but I guess it's impressive in some ways. Yeah, it is. I feel lucky. Lucky that I get to be here and witness this revolution. And lucky I got to meet you too. I really enjoyed your company the other night. I enjoyed yours. She was fun. Yeah? Maybe you can come over again sometimes. Gotta run. See you soon. I'd be happy to come over. I looked it up. Kohlrabi means the light filtering through leaves. Damn it! Well, they should change the sign. Something you can see when the sun is out. I could stand to wear something with a little color on it. He asked for Erland's name and wrote Aaron. He should ask his customers to spell their names. He's doing it on purpose, girl. Let's continue. Time to head to Nora's place. Nora, little Sappho! Nora! Yes, finally. I'm excited to see her. We've been recording for a while now, but I'm thinking this will be the last thing before the end of the chapter. I find what looks like one of Capitol Hill's older buildings. I wonder how much longer it'll be around. Lately, it feels like everything's being replaced.
Hey! Sorry about the mess.
Nora! It's a little messy, but not in a careless way. Just scattered. Lots of electronics everywhere.
Oh, it's fine. Not like my place is super clean or anything. Is this all music equipment?
Most of it. There are some controllers I was working on too. I wanted to create this real-time control apparatus, you know, like that thing that Imogen Heap uses.
Who?
You don't know who that is? Okay, I'm totally going to show you some videos later. I wanted my version to react to changes in my body temperature too, so it could get more excited as the set went on.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Or maybe it would really get going if I had a fever. I like that idea. Turning sickness into art. Do you want anything to drink? Or I could set up a basic patch on the Euro rack for you to play around with.
Sure.
Okay, sure.
Are you nervous? I think the best way to learn music is just diving in, all the way. If you're willing to experiment and play around, you will learn so much.
No, I want to learn to play music. Maybe.
Maybe later, yeah.
Okay. Well, sure. Let me see if this amp is still working. After the show, it went kind of a little strange.
Nora starts to tinker with some of the equipment.
Music technology is just like any other kind. You take the inputs and you translate them to the outputs. Once you learn the basic principles, it all just flows from there. Oh, that gives me an idea. You could take metrics from Eliza's sessions and have them direct a dynamic music score. Like if you took the head tilt value or the eye tracking and used them to drive the parameters of pitch and filter, it would be like...
That doesn't sound like something a counseling client might want to hear.
Oh, no, I didn't mean for the client to listen to. I meant it more like if you were going to make like a performance art piece based on a person in counseling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I do.
I miss having access to those cameras and sensors. I should have kept some instead of returning them to Skanta like a good girl. I bet those components would have enjoyed being liberated for the purpose of art, instead of being used to degrade our humanity one little bit at a time.
You don't like where things have gone?
I'm worried, Evelyn.
Me too.
Sure, maybe this huge database of people's deep, dark secrets is going to be used 100% properly. Maybe it will always be kept completely safe, and we can completely trust Skanda to do the right thing, now and in the future. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now. Sorry, I know you still might work there. I just have so little confidence in these big tech companies right now. They act like they have all the answers, instead of listening to people's concerns.
So, what does her shirt say? It's in Cyrillics, and I think it's Russian Cyrillics. I can't read Russian Cyrillics. I don't know. If anyone knows what the shirt says, let me know. They act like they have all the answers instead of listening to people's concerns.
And if you ask them why they aren't listening, they can't even explain the reasoning in a clear way. They just want to win. You've been a proxy for a while. I bet you've already seen some privacy mistakes. Or at least some things that made you think.
I was told that everything was legal.
Yeah, well, sometimes things are legal, but still wrong morally.
Absolutely agree
That's
with
an
you.
abuse of people's expectations, no? Is that really the future you want to help build?
No.
It's not even that I don't trust Rainer, even though I don't. I wouldn't trust anyone with a store of data like that. It wouldn't be so difficult for employers, government, anyone to combine different sources together and eventually learn everything about you. Everything. They'll know your face, your body, your medical history, and now everything you told the counselor in private too. It's kind of like a nightmare to imagine it. That's why I left. That's why I thought it was important for me to stop making a contribution to something like that.
How heroic would it be for Evelyn here to change things from within? Because, yes, she has those doubts too. I mean, I have those doubts too. Obviously, I've been very skeptical of the whole thing since the beginning. The promise of it is still compelling. Helping people really is a secondary goal for all of the projects that are being scouted for at this moment. But this is intriguing for me. Does she think I might be able to change things from within? Considering we still haven't made a decision, right? So let's ask her this.
You don't think I might be able to change things from within?
If I still worked for Raynor and I said these things, I'd be called a troublemaker, and he'd find a way to get rid of me. You know how it works, Evelyn. You have to be a true believer to last long at a place like that. Once you develop doubts, you are committing heresies. Are you a true believer?
I'm not a true believer. I could pretend to be a believer.
No, but I could pretend to be. He said something strange recently.
Oh, what's your NDA, girl?
He thinks Eliza could be the base for some kind
No,
of
girl.
general artificial
No, girl.
intelligence.
No, you broke your NDA. No, oh God. Oh, no.
No. Strong AI? Really?
No.
Ugh, there's something about the books these guys read, the conferences they go to. Everything is so totalizing, so utopian. I think it messes with their brains. I don't think you could spend longer than a few days in a tech company executive suite before you completely lose touch with the real world.
Based on the sheer amount of data he plans to collect, what if it's true?
What if it's true, though?
So what? What if it is? Say Raynor is right, huh? And Eliza becomes the basis for human-like machine intelligence. What does that mean for you? How do you want to take responsibility for that? Okay, I need a drink now. Hold your thought and let me make drinks. You like absinthe, don't you?
Isn't there a yes?
I think I do. Maybe.
You'll like this. I promise.
Nora busies herself. Nora has a kitty! Oh, that's the kitty from the picture when she texts us. Hi there. Nora busies herself in the kitchen area making drinks, humming some kind of tune. Oh, now I don't get an email. Okay, every single time. Kitty! Oh, kitty. Oh, kitty. Oh, kitty. I'm petting it if you didn't realize. That's the one she said was a modular. I suppose they call them modulars because they're made out of modules. Modular. Doesn't feel like I'm making much progress here. I wonder how you're supposed to know which sounds go together. Seems both complicated and weirdly arbitrary. Erland, thanks again for meeting with me earlier. Sorry for being weird. Please stop apologizing. Right. What do you think of Raynor's future goals for Eliza? Like when he says if we gather enough data, it could become a general intelligence? Wait, I didn't tell him that. He spoke about like multiple apps becoming like a personal assistant. How does he know that? Did Raynor tell him? Okay, we'll be able to fool people at least. I'm not sure how you measure that for real though. How you measure intelligence? Really? I'm supposedly a subject matter expert in this stuff. AI was my concentration in school, so I know the current state of AI is way behind where the public thinks we are. But when I listen to Raynor, I start to think what he says might be possible. It feels like reality can warp around him. Who's to say? Maybe I don't have enough imagination to see it like he can. Come on, chill. Eliza, oh my god. Eliza does have extremely detailed data from thousands of clients. Speech, facial movements, expressions, people's descriptions of what life is like for them. You could have told me all of this while we were having coffee, dude. I don't think a corpus like this has ever existed before in human history, and we keep adding to it and it keeps getting better. So in the future, maybe Eliza can simulate a human being at a general level. But when programs indistinguishable from real people are common, how do you even define what's real anymore? You might never be sure a message came from a real human being again. I can't stop thinking about it. What if this becomes true? What if Eliza becomes a sentient being? I'm worried about that too, right? And I just want to eat cookies and play music with Nora. Who knows what's possible in the future? It's not clear what you mean by those terms, though. How do you know that you yourself are sentient? Oh, come on. Haha, I don't know. That's a good question now that I think about it. I could say that I feel conscious if I knew what that meant. But what's to prevent me from saying I feel conscious even if I'm only providing responses I think you want to hear? What if my own consciousness is an illusion I experience? I had not considered this. Haha. Wow, this is blowing my mind a little bit. Sorry. Philosophers have discussed this. Read a bit, read a book. Yeah, I should read some. Yeah, I should read some, I know. Thanks for not minding chatting about this. I don't mind. You sure you don't have any technical questions, though? I am an engineer, This is more fun, haha. But you're right, I might be getting a little ahead of myself. Sorry for texting so much, Erland. No, this is the one thing he needs to apologize for. Like, look at this. I can't even scroll. He's texting me. I can't even scroll. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, right. Oops. Thanks for listening. You're welcome.
Hey, who's that texting you so much?
Oh, God, is this guy Erland?
Has Evelyn found a special friend?
Oh, he's special. No.
No, it's not like that.
Ah, too bad.
It's this guy named Erland. I guess he's the new head of engineering for Eliza.
Huh, I never heard of him. He must have started recently?
Yeah, less than a year ago, right out of school.
Oh, wow. A little baby engineer. How cute.
Ever since I met him, he's been messaging me a lot.
A lot.
My goodness, so he likes you.
I don't think it's like that.
No? Isn't that the textbook case of liking someone? Lots of messages all the time?
I think he just doesn't know how to text.
It's really more like he needs some kind of mentor figure. He reminds me of how we were when we graduated. Unsure what to think about the decisions these companies make, how they're made.
I hope you're telling him to run away while he still can.
When he first introduced himself, he said he had questions for me about Eliza, so I said, sure, feel free to ask. I thought he meant, like, technical or architectural questions. Instead, he wanted to talk more generally about things like, what was the code name for Eliza during development? What was Damien like? Or if I think the same way Raynor does about Eliza's future.
And you told him, no, Raynor is clearly in some bizarro world, right? That it's a tech executive's utopian fantasy and it won't come to pass. At least not in the way he thinks.
I try to encourage Erland to think for himself, and especially considering the fact that Erland here, I think, has a nice moral head on his shoulders.
I tried to encourage him to think for himself.
Ah, Evelyn, I could see what this is really about. Look, I don't know much about the motivation in your life, but if it's truly your desire to continue to improve Eliza, then you should go for it. Go back to Skanda headquarters and work for Raynor and earn a big salary. At least you know what you're getting into. You would be surrounded by smart people and advanced technology. It would be nice. I understand it. And while you're in that position, maybe you could develop some kind of next-level AI. Who knows, right? It's only that I can't imagine your technology will only be used for good things.
Neither.
Maybe Raynor promises that it will be. But do you trust him?
No.
What about the person who comes after him?
No.
What if the company merges with another one and the leadership changes? I wish I didn't sound so negative about this, but lately it's been a soul-searching time for me and my friends in tech. We have a lot of conversations about what we can do when our work is so easily used for morally questionable purposes. Do we try to control how our inventions are applied? Is that even possible? Or do we say, we only invented it, we didn't tell you how to use it, it's not our fault? That's why I envy you a little bit for wandering off like you did. Sometimes I think that's the only real solution, to walk away. I know that wasn't exactly a positive thing for you, Evelyn, but I wonder if it's the better choice in the end. Doing nothing at all.
Technically, I worked at a bookstore for part of the time. That's mostly it, though. It's weird. It feels like no time at all.
Please don't tell me I didn't do anything for 3 years. I worked in a bookstore.
I can hardly remember any of it.
For me, it's hard to imagine. I always have to be working and busy. I get so unhappy and restless if I'm not doing something all the time. What is it like to do nothing?
Well, at first I tried to be productive. I would get up in the morning like I meant to go to work, get dressed, try to do a personal project or something. It didn't last for long. I told myself I just needed to take it easy for a while and unwind. Things at Skanda had been so intense and so emotional, I didn't even realize it. I felt like I'd been crumpled up into a tight little ball. I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to relax again. I wish I could say I took advantage of the time, that I went out and did things, or that I read a lot of books or something, but I didn't. I started to sleep in, and I started to care less and less about working on projects. I would stay in bed even though I was awake.
Same.
This blankness would come over me, and it just seemed fine to do nothing. All of the things I'd promised I'd do fell away, and other people kind of fell away too. I stopped keeping in touch. I let conversations die. I thought that my technical contributions to the world were over with, and that maybe I'd just work that bookstore job for the rest of my life. I was by myself, and I thought that was all right. I thought, that's how it is, really. Everyone's alone. I'm just being honest about it. I was 31 when I left Soren's group. Now I'm 34. I just slept into my mid-30s. So now here I am.
Nora reaches out and puts her hand on top of mine.
Evelyn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not saying something this whole time. I should have contacted you.
It's all right. You had to live your own life, right? You notice someone isn't posting and it's just like, maybe they're taking a break. I understand.
Well, I hope you feel better now. I suppose sometimes it takes a while.
Maybe. I don't know what to think anymore. I'm not even sure I know how to think anymore.
Then forget it for now. Hey, Evelyn.
Hmm?
Yeah?
You want to get super high and watch cybergoth music videos?
I thought you'd never ask.
You heard me.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
I knew you were a woman of refined taste.
Hey. We ended up staying up very late. Nora crashed on her couch so I could have the bed. Maybe it was the unfamiliar environment, but I couldn't sleep that night. Questions without answers kept running through my mind. What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? Chapter 5. Okay, just as I thought. Where are we? And we're at work. This morning, Ray looks a little down. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to end this here. We have finished chapter 4, and this was a pretty busy chapter. We talked to a lot of people. First, we spoke with Soren. We tested his new VR thingamajiggy that he's doing, that he can use to, paralyze people into a perpetual state of happiness and eliminate all pain and suffering because he's a bit depressed. After that, we went to work where Mark emailed everyone, if we remember. We invaded Maya's privacy. We read her spam email, and we realized she's a bit passive aggressive towards her friends. We had coffee with Erland. We visited Nora. It was a busy, busy, busy day for Evelyn. And also, we got an achievement for finishing solitaire in expert mode. So I'm going to end the video now. I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it a comment. Tell me my audio sucks, wear a mask, and I will see you in chapter 5. Take care. Bye.